Now, I'm not a massive fan of being scared, but I know there are people out there who do enjoy that sensation, Alice Bell.
Indeed, yes.
And those people are called Resident Evil fans.
Nicely
So
done.
I would imagine they're very excited and full of anticipation about Resident Evil 7, because Resident Evil 6 let people down a bit. They weren't overly happy with some parts of it. But Resident Evil 7, we've seen from demos and whatnot, people have enjoyed it. So I suppose, first off, the set dressing, the house, like this is kind of very similar to the first Resident Evil, I believe, in that it all takes place in this house, the Baker family home.
Yes, well, the majority, I should say. Yes, I don't want to. We're not going to do any spoilers. But the house is probably my favorite bit, and it does feel more classic Resi. Certainly in the kind of first half of the game, where you're sort of exploring and kind of puzzling and working out like door puzzles and finding things and stuff. And I enjoyed that very much. I should say it is the first couple of hours, 3 hours, are very frightening.
Okay.
And it did frighten me. I don't like being scared, but but I pushed through it. And I think it does become a bit less scary as it's a journey that you go on with the protagonist, Ethan.
Okay. What is the... So, yeah, you're Ethan Winters?
That's correct, yeah.
And you're looking for your wife.
Yes, Mia, who went missing 3 years ago.
Okay.
And out of the blue, you get an email from her, seemingly.
No.
That's the start of the game.
Okay.
And she just says, come to this place. And Ethan does, and tells no one where he's going. He doesn't tell the police. There's presumably an open file on Mia's disappearance, but he just goes off on his Todd to Dulvey, Louisiana, to the Baker Mansion.
Maybe he should have informed the authorities beforehand.
Yeah, I'm not fond of Ethan. I don't like him. But
why? What's wrong? What's wrong with Ethan?
Ethan's just boring. He's deliberately faceless. You never see his face in it. It's first person.
Project yourself upon Ethan.
Well, yeah, but he's just boring, and he's kind of... there are no motivations for him to be... I mean, he's looking for his wife and stuff, but then he ends up... If I was Ethan, I would have left immediately.
Yeah.
When I saw the first few things that you see, before you even get in the house. I would have left immediately, and I would have phoned the police.
Yeah, I suppose.
And so because of that, my sympathy for Ethan is limited. Because he's dragged me into this.
Yep,
you know,
very true. The Bakers themselves.
Yeah, I like the Bakers more. They are, some of them are more interesting than others. The son is very interesting.
Okay.
But that veers into spoiler territory,
right? Yeah.
And they are.
It's kind of like Deliverance Country, isn't it?
Or a little bit. I think if you take kind of classic Resi stuff, and then you mix in a little bit of new Resi, because it does become essentially a shooter. By the end of the game. And then you sort of mix in a bit of Deliverance and The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
You've essentially brewed Resident Evil 7, I think.
But so your favourite character of the lot, though, is the house.
Yes.
The Baker
house is great.
Why? How can a house be your favourite character, Alice?
It just kind of feels it's just so well made. It's such a well realised space. I mean, it's mental. It's got like doors you open with shadows and stuff like that. But like, it's so lived in, and it's you can see the process of how it has become dilapidated. And so there are sort of trophies and photos and family photos from before everything went to shit, and like kids' rooms, and like they used to watch TV in this room and stuff. Right. But then around that, it's become kind of horrible and fallen down, and it sort of feels like the house is a character as well, because they like the Bakers appear from, they're the sort of kind of primary antagonists for most of the game. You do get sort of shambling messes of black goo that people have seen in the preview stuff and the demo that come after you as well, but they are the most characterful antagonists. And the house sort of feels like it got sick as well. And it sort of feels like the house is kind of lashing out at you sometimes, and then other times it's like, oh God, I'm sorry, here, have a nice, warm, safe room. I didn't mean it, I'm very sick.
Right.
You know? It's nice. Yeah, and you get to know it. You get to know, like, if I go down this corridor, I'll be able to hide in this room. And there are huge, it's much bigger than I expected. Much bigger.
The house?
Yeah. The house has lots of different areas to it. There's different buildings, there's outlying buildings, there's loads of stuff going on. And it's really nice. And when you eventually do, the house is always the focal point. It's sort of the center of the swirling universe of Resi 7. But you do move to slightly less kind of lived in, less kind of nicely sort of worn, detailed areas. And I think it does suffer for it a little bit.
So you said there's kind of the shambling, gooey kind of messes and stuff. So is there no actual, like, again, we're trying to avoid spoiler territory here, but is there no, like, proper old school Resi zombies? Do you know, like just a horde of zombies?
Like dead people? No.
Right. Okay.
No. It's
like is it kind of, I suppose, mixing the old school sensibilities of Resident Evil, like, as you say, opening doors with shadows rather than handles, which sounds impractical, but also kind of a bit more, I don't know, Amnesia or Outlast or
PT.
Or PT, obviously.
Yeah. There's a bit, I mean, like I say, it does sort of amp up to become more shooty. So it starts off, that's kind of the process you go through. You start off as Ethan, you have nothing. You have literally nothing. You just need to, you're like, oh, I've got to get out of here. And you have nothing. You have no weapons. You have anything. You gradually become sort of more confident and powerful and pissed off with the situation as Ethan. And so you get less afraid. And as you get less afraid, they bring in more sort of the shooter elements. It does become more linear, which is a shame as well, I think. Because the house is kind of there's a lot of exploration. You're finding new rooms and stuff. And then as it becomes more of a shooter, they take away a little bit of the exploration, so it's a bit more of a straight line.
Does it suffer for its length? I
think it might be just a little bit too long. I think they could probably have cut out one of the last sections, or cut it down a bit,
where it becomes a shooter.
Yeah, because there's a sort of middle bit where it's a shooter, but it's got a sort of halfy mix of both, which I think is very successful. It's not as nice as the house, because the house is just great. I love the house, but I think it's maybe a little bit too long. The combat's a little bit weird as well, because I don't know how you could play all of it in VR, because it's got combat elements in it, but it doesn't have a lot, so it's a little bit janky in terms of you've got, like, you don't have a dodge, but you've got sort of a parry kind of.
Okay.
You can duck by just pressing crouch, and then hopefully the attack will go over your head, kind of thing. And I don't see how. I mean, it's a little bit imperfect, not in VR. I don't see how you'd be able to do the game in VR. There are a lot of bits in it where, like the early 3D films, they would all have like something in slow motion flying at the camera, and you go, whoa! There's you can see
same kind of like, oh, this is a bit for VR.
Yeah, something's being stabbed at my face. So there's quite a few bits like that, and I think you can tell there are some aspects of it that show it is. So like the enemies move quite slowly. They move faster the higher difficulty you put on.
Okay.
But they still move quite slowly, especially to start with, which kind of gives them a terrible relentlessness, which I quite like. But the stuff like that's I think for VR. But I don't see how you can play all of it in VR. I'm sure there will be some people that can.
Definitely.
But I think it'd be very hard. I think it's flawed. It's not. I mean, who's it? Someone at the marketing said, like, we're hoping for 9s and 10s. I'm sure we'll get a few 8s as well.
That was it. Yeah.
Bless him. I think it is flawed, but there are also aspects of it that are very, very good. So I mean, the horror part especially is I think the first couple of hours are very well done. I think there is replay value in it as well, and there are a lot of nice puzzles in it. I got stuck once, and I had to ask for help from someone else once.
Well, that's actually, do you know what? That's quite good, because I don't know, sometimes some of the old Resident Evil games, I don't know, maybe I was just a stupid child, but sometimes they could veer into almost adventure game territory.
It never goes that. It's never that. that bad. I think some of the puzzles are a little bit fetch questy. Like go and get this, and you know where it is. You're told where it is. It's just the other side of the house, and you have to that kind of thing. But some of them are very good, and some of them have that nice. You can't figure it out, so you kind of turn the game off, and then you have a cup of tea, and you think, "Oh shit, I'll try that."
Yeah.
There's that nice sense of achievement on a few of them. So yeah, I did overall enjoyed it. It's not maybe as transcendently good as Capcom were hoping, but I think it's worth picking up if you can. I think Resi fans may appreciate the kind of return to some classic elements they've used as well. There's a lot to love about it, I think, but not everything.
Want to see our videos before they go live on YouTube? Well, you better look at videogamer.com then. And for some wonderful exclusive content, become a VGBG. Just head to patreon.com/videogamer. And if you enjoyed this video, why not share it with your friends? Thanks for watching.